Hello and welcome to the B Button episode 28, baby, yeah! I am your host, as always, Baron Marf, and I'm joined by my compadre in arms, the one, the only, Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, the week's gone fairly quick.
Yeah.
Seems like only yesterday that we were recording last week's.
Here we are again.
Reminiscing.
On the road
Ready.
again. Yeah, so, what have you been up to? What have you been gaming?
Well, obviously it's been back to work, so boo. Gaming, been tempted by the Rise of Iron.
Okay.
I've been sort of reading more and more about it, and obviously it's releasing next week, which we'll obviously talk about a bit more
Lots
later.
of advertising in your face.
Yeah. Obviously I've stupidly bought some sales games that I'm never really probably ever going to play.
Curses. I think we're all guilty for that, though. Yeah,
I've still got a mountain of gold games to play, so that was a bit silly. Obviously Rock Band, which is going to be pretty much a consistency for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, you're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, it's Rock Band. I've always loved it. It allows me to feel like a badass and be really lazy and not have to worry about learning how to play guitar.
Right on.
Or buy an expensive drum kit and annoy everyone that lives around me.
Right on.
And then there was the Forza Horizon 3 demo.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it dropped, I think, Tuesday, wasn't it?
That's right.
So yeah, just been mashing a bit of that this morning.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, solid. It's good at setting, I found. I did like with the Rainforest, obviously the few little challenges and events that I entered. It was it was good fun. But
So
I've always enjoyed the Forza Horizon games, so.
So I was playing this on a 1080p TV, just via HDMI, nothing, not 4K, not HDR, not nothing, and it looked pretty good.
It does look phenomenal.
It looked pretty good, very pretty.
I'm somewhat envious of the people that have got Xbox One S and a HDR compatible screen, because that will look unbelievably good.
It was the vistas which got me.
Yeah, well, it's that first bit when you get onto the beach in Byron Bay and you look up, just the clouds and the sky just looks unbelievable. And
I was really impressed. I was driving along what felt like a reasonably open, flat landed area, and there was just some hot air balloons like taking off in the distance, and I was like, "That's pretty."
Yeah. The thing is, the Horizon games have always been good for that. I mean, the first one's really good. The second one's unbelievable because it's got some amazing settings. Obviously, it's all set in like the Mediterranean around like France and Italy, and so it looks really good as well. But it does seem that have really ramped it up. I mean, even the Outback's going to look phenomenal.
Yeah,
just
it does.
looking at some of the intro for the movie was really good.
The old kangaroos, mate.
Yeah.
Taking a little hop.
Yeah, that's it. It's just going to be, I think, a really solid, well enjoyable game. Not necessarily a day one purchase, but sort of the end of the month. Wait until I get another paycheck, and it's just deciding which package to get, really.
Yeah.
For me. But no, so it's pretty much, I'd imagine, going to be the same kind of thing next week. Obviously Rock Band, and obviously I've got a few days to decide over the Destiny conundrum and the Rise of Iron.
Come on, stop messing about.
I know, I'm thinking it's just 25 quid. If I get a few months out of it, then it's
if you can
it's
find it for 25 quid in the store, because you went through that debacle,
I did
didn't
find
you?
it. Yeah, I did. I can't remember how though. So it's the quest that keeps on giving.
We were joking because we were saying that it was like, it almost felt like a rare opportunity that you find it for £25 as you weasel your way through the store to finally get to what the cheapest price is.
You almost sorry to interrupt.
You almost want to buy it because it's on sale,
It's almost like you feel like, in Indiana Jones, the first one, where obviously there's his first little episode where he's got to get the idol, the golden idol, and it's just that bit where it comes upon it, and you see him, and it's obviously you get the music, and you see his face sort of in the glow from the golden idol itself, and you just.
Yeah.
They're licking at the lips. I've got to take it whilst I'm here. This is the only opportunity I'm going to get.
You never see this again.
Yeah. So it does almost feel like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the store for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
How about yourself?
Well, like you, Forza Horizon demo. it's impressive. I mean, I've never really played Forza Horizon, or sorry, Forza full stop, let alone Forza Horizon games. I know they just released or did the first one for free on Games with Gold
Obviously,
from 360.
compatibility as well.
Yeah, so I was tempted with that, but never got around to doing it. But played the demo of 3 last night, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I don't like simulators. I like more like arcadey Ridge Racer games, and but it, like you were saying, it's like a nice blend really of the two.
Yeah, it allows you to again feel it. It allows you to exceed your potential skill level, let's say. And it is, like you said, it's a lot more forgiving than say like a GT or a Forza.
Yeah, I like Turismo. Is just like not my bag, baby.
I think
it's not my bag.
It has to click, and I found just Horizon did. I mean,
yeah.
I like the way that it's, because obviously it's on the road. It's a lot more.
You can do more with the cars.
Yeah.
It's not as you're not wrestling G-force and tyre grip all the time. You know, it's a bit more. But
a lot more variation and undulation in the road. So it's there are sketchy moments that you're thankful of the rewind.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few instances where I've been going through and I thought it was a bit reminiscent of Sega Rally at some points, and I was just like, yeah, that's cool. But so yeah, really enjoyed that. I was amazed at how long I spent on it. Actually, I really did want to have a good nose around and feel out everything. So yeah, awesome.
No, it's a lot to do in a big game.
Yeah, but out of nowhere, 3DS, Kirby, Planet of the Robobot.
The
Kirby with mech suits.
Yeah, I was going to say it's that one, isn't it?
And then you get to change his powers in a mech suit, so it's like a sword or a fire. Yeah, amazing, man. That's my cup of tea. Loads of power ups. That's what Kirby's all about, really. So
cool.
Absolutely loving that.
Again, it's yet another one of these things that makes me want to buy a 3DS.
It's just a silly little game, but I know I'm going to play the shit out of it, so I had to go for it.
Good value for it then.
Destiny. Been on Destiny, just bad juju, basically.
Yeah.
Got the bad juju, been levelling it up. It's cool, man. I didn't get it at first, that gun.
No.
I was just like, it's a pulse rifle, like, or, pulse fire. And I was like, right, that's not doing a lot of damage. And then you get the final power up, which means every time you kill an enemy, it automatically reloads a full clip into the gun. Yeah. And then you're just going boom, 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 boom.
It doesn't matter, it's not doing a lot of damage, it just has to do enough.
Yeah, exactly. And it continues to do it. That's the thing. It's like a hose, basically. So, cool. Awesome. And then got some of my pre-orders done. So I know that we've got some big releases coming up. We talked about Rise of Iron. So I've also pre-ordered my Gears 4. I looked around, there's no better deals, so I've gone digital because I know that Gears will go on for years and years and years.
It's not something that you're going to want to aim to get rid of.
Exactly. So and also Forza, I got the bug, so just pre-ordered that.
Nice.
Awesome.
You went for the Ultimate Edition, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get it 4 days early, so it's 23rd.
23rd, indeed, yeah. So looking forward to that. And I've also gone for Recore as well. Really interested in playing that. I haven't really touched it at all yet, but that's my next week of gaming.
You were saying though, weren't you? It was very much as it's downloading, it's just sort of like blink. All of a sudden, there's a whole chunk of it's gone. Where was that 20%? That was quick.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, that was just a 10-minute blink.
And I've just woken up to find out that it's been downloaded for the last half an hour, and I've been asleep in the chair. So I couldn't really play it. So I was just like, tap out, give it the proper time next week. So yeah.
Cool.
Right, cool. Okay, well there we are. Let's bust on over to the news section.
Yeah, I think we best get moving on.
Let's do this. But the Bills Big 3, baby, yeah! And first up for our news item this week is...
Well, obviously we've got an impending glut of DLC due.
Yeah.
2 big ones, really. Maybe a third, which we'll speculate a little bit later. But we've got the Battlefront DLC, the Death Star.
Yeah, so this is the biggie, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the one where you've actually... it feels like a proper Battlefront sort of episode, really.
Everybody's been waiting for the Death Star, and more specifically
Space fights.
The space fights, the trench run.
Yes. Which is obviously, you've got the new game mode, but obviously it releases on the 20th of September, but that's obviously for Season Pass only. I think it's 2 weeks, and then it comes out for the general populace. So we've got Chewbacca and Bosk, the new heroes. See, there's the 5 new maps and the new game mode, which is Battle Station, which is, like we said, the XP, the Death Star run, basically.
Yeah. Everybody wants a trench run, baby. It's bombing one price. It's that easy.
Exactly. We've also got a double XP weekend coming up to celebrate the launch.
Sorry. Can I just say, what child goes around blowing the shit out of animals as a hobby in their spare time?
They're only womp rats.
Right. Sorry, you were saying, Link.
And then also we've got the final DLC, which will be coming in the holidays, which will link up with Rogue One. Obviously, tying with that. That's obviously Rogue One Seraph is the next one due in for that.
They're just leading on to get themselves right in on that franchise forever and a day, basically.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, they will milk it. But it's EA for you.
Yes.
And obviously
yes, it is.
The other biggie, speaking of milking you, we've got Destiny. So the Rise of Iron, that's releasing Tuesday as well, the 20th.
Which you can get for £25.
I did find it on the store. I can't remember how. I'm going to reactivate my search later. Maybe sometime this weekend.
Just blindly stab in the dark. That's the only methodology for getting to
Yeah.
it. It's like a maze where you've got no idea where the end is, so it doesn't matter which way you go, you're just getting lost.
Yeah, that's it. You're gonna end up with a few dead ends, but eventually you should hopefully get there.
Yeah.
If not, you just die.
Yeah.
So obviously this entails a new campaign. I've got show of, so I've got 2/3 of the title written down. But I didn't get the most important part, which is the whole of it. But we've, which obviously it'll have a new PvE area, and a social space. So we've got the Playgrounds and the Wall, which is obviously revisiting the opening section.
I mean, this just feels like they're saying we're putting another reef in.
Well, they are going to have a new social space.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Fellwinter Peak. But obviously it's Lord Saladin's old stomping grounds.
Oh yeah.
But no, obviously it's all been updated to be a bit more wintry. So it's all snowy everywhere, isn't it? Because obviously we're based in Russia at that point. So obviously there's going to be those bits there. New PvP maps. So that's going to be some more stuff. Obviously it'll link in with the private matches, which they've now released this week as well.
They have indeed. Played any of the private matches yet?
No, I haven't played Destiny for months.
Oh man, you've got to get back on it now.
I know, but this is the thing this is the conundrum I was talking about earlier. But we'll move on. So obviously we've got some new and updated strikes. Not got any details for those, but why we're in the surprise.
Yeah, well, being in the Xbox community, we're not getting all the stuff.
Well, obviously that's my final point on this, really. But I'll get back to that. So we've got the new raid. We've got the new raid as well, which I think is going to be a bit more of a straightforward number, a la Crota, as opposed to King's Raid. But I think it's, from what I've read of it, it's supposed to be pretty good fun. And then we've got some new patrol missions and public events to go with the new areas.
That's cool. They need to freshen that shit up, frankly.
And then, obviously, as you stated earlier, the PS4 exclusive shit.
That's how I shit in your cereal when you try and make a point.
Well,
but yeah,
I'm pretty sure I read a few weeks back that the year 2 PS4 exclusive stuff's going to continue to be exclusive for another year, which is bullshit.
That is bullshit, but yeah, it is.
It's just, that's old cash division for you though, isn't it?
Sure is.
But we did speak earlier, though, of speculated really, wasn't it? That going by prior and sort of previous history of Rockstar.
If you look at Rockstar's canvas for this sort of...
they tend to...
They watch other people's big releases, don't they? Yeah,
they do tend to sort of swoop in and go, oh, by the way... Would you
like to carry on playing our game?
Yeah. We've got this really new cool feature. So yeah, there's been obviously the rumours of the September update at least. But some people are hoping that it's going to be the biker DLC, and they're talking that up a bit. But others thinking it might not come before obviously Halloween, which will have its general bullshit shitty update.
Yeah.
But hoping there is some bike at DLC, because I haven't played GTA for a while, and it'd be good to get back in and think, Jesus Christ, how much money have I got to earn before I can actually use any and enjoy any of these new things.
I think, as you said earlier on, they're notorious for just being like, kaboom, there it is, it's coming out next week.
Give us £30, because that's how much it's going to cost. Or
for a new car, or a new Welltel spoiler,
Yeah, so there like you say, maybe some GTA action.
Cool, well, I hope so. I love a bit of GTA, and like you say, it's the Phoenix game, keeps coming back. Okay,
it's the Phoenix game in a GTA fashion, in the sense that it keeps coming back and robbing your money.
Yeah. It's definitely got the theft bit down.
You think you finally closed the wallet on that, and then all of a sudden it's just like, wait a minute, that seems somewhat lighter. Yeah. Oh, it's GTA Phoenix.
Back again. Thank you, GTA.
But again, sorry for interrupting
you.
You were just about to get into your stride.
Well, exciting news. I think this is really exciting news. But as always with this sort of stuff, it's subtext of what the news is. So it's basically been found in the source code of a few European official Nintendo websites, like the UK and the French website, that they've given a release date for 3 of the amiibos, which are coming out for the Zelda Breath of the Wild video game. Yeah. So, okay, everyone's like, why is that such great news? Well, it means 2 things. First things first, and on a slightly less exciting note, it means that we've got a rough idea of the date that the game is going to come out. But beyond that, we all know that what it's being released on,
because it's a launch title
for the NX, baby.
Or the Nintendo, are we going to keep the cool name?
Or are we going to Neo it and go PS4 Pro, PS, PlayStation 4, whatever it is.
A Nintendo Wii U, can you buy it, please?
yeah, exactly. Please, we've got...
Wii U, can we all play?
Yeah, you can have Mario again.
But yeah, just the NX.
So... The date that everybody's speculating is 4th of March.
Ooh.
So exciting times, and we're yet to have the big announcement of when we're actually going to see this machine. But
which, a lot of... Well, there's been a few people that have been saying early October or late September, which we're getting into now, so it might be the next sort of 2-3 weeks. But I'd imagine it's going to be some like Nintendo Direct kind of thing. It will definitely drop before the VR release of PlayStation, though.
The thing is, though, Nintendo themselves have already alluded to a March release for the new console.
Yeah,
so
they've instantly said, because like Zelda was pushed back, because it's going to be a launch title for that.
Mm.
So yeah, I think it seems about a fair estimation.
But usually, as we all know, when they say March, it means the 29th of March.
Yeah,
every time.
Like the last Friday or whatever it is.
Exactly that, yeah. So there we go. Hopefully we now possibly know a date for the NX.
Yes. Well, it gives us a chance then to save up some spondoolies, because I think it would be, hopefully, if it's talked up in the sense that they've been trying to talk it up, and it's going to be a pretty good software lineup. Because if you look at the lack of games that Nintendo put out for the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to have been working on something for something.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, speculation, a bit of rumourage and whatnot, and obviously we can bake ourselves a cake of imagination.
It's our weekly obligatory NX rumour.
Well, they're going to follow basically until we know when they actually show off the damn thing.
Damn right. Cool, so busting over to our third bullet hole for this week, what we got, Link?
I suppose somewhat disappointing news.
It's a little bit sad.
One part's somewhat disappointing, the other part's not really that surprising.
Not at all, especially considering the heritage on this.
Yeah, exactly. Both have got a pretty good heritage of delays and slippages.
Come on, we're killing the audience here. What is it?
Yes, the fractured butthole.
Yeah. The fractured butthole.
Yes, that's the one. It's been delayed till the first quarter of 2017.
Damn it, man! That was December, wasn't it?
It was December the 6th.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't pre-order it now. It means I can...
I did pre-order it, so this is one of the games that I've really been waiting for.
Yeah. We was talking about earlier and trying to work out what quarter 1 means, because we're saying it's instantly the end of the quarter for that.
Oh yeah,
whenever
so
anyone
31st
says,
of March every time.
Yeah. But is that their quarter, or does their quarter start in December? And who knows what books they go by?
in their economic quarter. When did they register their company?
Exactly. So yeah, that's unfortunately slipped. Like you say, it was a game that a lot of people I think were looking forward to.
I know Jedi was hungry for this.
Yeah.
So is Panasonic.
So yeah, they'll be somewhat gutted.
Mm.
And one that I know both of them would not give a toss about is obviously The Last Guardian.
Yeah.
Do
you give a toss?
Kind of. I'm not really bothered that it slipped. It's one of those. Obviously, it was reported earlier. Old Shu, he come out. Shuedo, Yoshida, I don't know. The president, the prez of PlayStation, basically. He come out and they found some pretty nasty bugs that needed to be fixed. So whatever. Okay, fine. Fair enough. It slipped from. Obviously, it was 27th of October. So it was only about a month away. But it's slipped back. Obviously, these are EU and UK dates respectively, for the 7th and then the 9th for the UK. So it's not a major slippage. It's a couple of months. But after 7, 8, 10, 15 years. I mean, it's not got into Duke Nukem territory, but it's been a while. So a couple of months. The thing is,
if you look at both of them, like how long did the first South Park game get delayed for? I
think there was probably about a year in all.
Matt and Trey Parker were like, do you know what?
I can't be asked for this shit.
Yeah, they said it can't be that difficult. We bang out episodes like on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
How difficult can it be to make a game? And then they just found out the hard way it's really difficult. And this time they were like, we've got this shit down pat. We're all over this. We're going to release this on time. And then they've delayed. And it's like, fair enough, guys. It is. Don't worry.
Yeah, better that it's
make it right.
Exactly. But that's the thing. That's what's happened. Is Matt and Trey? They've just sort of looked at something and thought it's just doesn't work.
That's a good thing about Matt Stone and Trey Parker. They are like, no, if it's not right, it's not right.
Yeah, that's it.
And then we've got exactly the same thing with The Last Guardian. So The Last Guardian has been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, right? And then they've gone, okay, it's coming out, don't worry. And then they've gone, oh, wait, sorry, it's delayed again. And we were like, don't worry, we expected it.
It's one of those that you sort of almost, you could just want to go up to the developers and like just pat them on the back. It's all right, buddy, it's fine.
It's all right, fella. You'll be all right. Get your chin up. Hey,
hey,
little guy.
Just fix your problems and move on.
Looking forward to Christmas.
But I'm hoping though, because the only games that seem to keep their dates are the Assassin's Creed games. Yeah, and they're generally worse off for it.
But that's because they've got a gun to their head.
But I'm hoping one Ubisoft game doesn't slip, and that is Steep. Because I'm wondering when the beta they're going to do that. Because obviously I got signed up for that for the beta.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they release some details for when that's going to release, and that it doesn't slip at all.
Fingers crossed, man, because that looks an awesome game. We were saying earlier on, that's kind of potentially a bit of a... I likened it to a GTA on a mountaintop, but probably less the physical violence.
Less illegal.
Yeah. And you likened it to, which I also get completely, is the whole Flower, the switch off game where you could just like chill out and circle around the mountain in a helicopter and take in what's going on. Or...
Yeah, you can go out and can try and complete it and do the challenges and find some really compelling, challenging gameplay, or you can just piss about.
Be like, I'm going to climb that rock face.
And spinning around in circles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those. I'm just hoping it doesn't slip though.
Well, fingers crossed, as always. We want them to do it if they have to, but please don't.
Well, as a final point and on that, hopefully the developers have done what the Fallout guys did and just said, right, we get ready to release, and then when we're in testing, we'll announce it.
Yeah, when we actually know.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, guys. Cool. Okay, so let's shift on over to our What's the Beef.
Yes, get that over and done with so we can chill.
Man, you were like, I've got a beef. You came to me this week, you were like, I've got a fucking beef. I've got a beef, baby.
Well, I got some sort of rough notes because I thought, I'm not going to fill this out and spend hours on it, and you just go, nah, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
But I think I found a compelling one.
Cool. Well, let's move on over. I've really got used to doing that wrestler's voice now on our What's the Beef.
Well, it could almost be confused as somewhat
Macho Man Randy Savage?
any kind of straining motion, really.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe too much of a fibrous diet.
Yeah, bombs away all the way.
Kaboom!
Cool, so what's a beef chief? This is where we fucking lay this shit out and say, look, I've got some beef and this is my meat right here on the table. So, Link, I think you're going to lay out your meat on the table for us. So, what you got?
Well, I'm going to go and approach it in a calm and measured manner, because otherwise I'll just start ranting and talking gibberish and sounding like an idiot.
Fair enough, alright. That's very, very controlled.
But yeah, I was reading a story about No Man's Sky. Obviously, it's a game that I've followed and sort of really looked forward to for some... years now.
Yeah.
And obviously it's all this furore about there's refunds and people claiming that it's missold, blah, blah, blah. But my biggest problem is the price that they've been whining about. They're saying it's not a $60 game or a 40 quid game. It's bullshit. It's an indie game. Why is it people have got to whine about the prices of games? I mean, whether No Man's Sky is a AAA game or an indie title is irrelevant. The fact that they've put in 12 people, four or five people for a number of years or months have put in exorbitant amount of hours. They've put in probably 4 or 5 years work to that. And
then they grew the team a bit.
Yeah, so they've expanded it to 12 and then...
12's not a huge number though, is it?
No, exactly. For a game that's, 18 quintillion planets.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big game. But yeah, so why can't they charge £40 for that, or $60?
Yeah, I mean, there's some certain people have got some mindsets about video games, haven't they? Generally, so for example, we were looking at what it costs to get Battlefield 1. The new release coming out.
I mean, there are some inherent problems.
It's priced up in the store. It says £98.99 if you want the one which includes the season pass and the beginner's DLC or whatever they chuck in for the initial bang, but it's got the season pass in there. The VIP, whatever.
The supposed value adders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You get all your little boxes of XP and all that sort of jazz. But it came in, with EA access at £98.99. £99, call it 100, right?
Yeah.
110 if you don't have that, membership.
Bearing in mind EA access is at £5 a month, isn't it? So you're talking 60 quid a year.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, to get it for that £100, you've got to spend 160.
So I just want to be clear on this. Yeah, what EA are doing in this situation is they're saying, for £60 a year, which you used to get a game and a half out of us for, because back in the day when we were doing hockey games or something like that, it was 40 quid for the game and that was it. You bought a game and you had it. Now what EA is saying is, we're not going to give you any game for that 60 quid. We're just going to let you have access to all the older games or all the other games either a little bit sooner or just, in a catalogue, but we're not actually going to give you a game.
No.
What?
Panasonic made a really good point about Destiny when he was deciding whether to buy the Taken King, and he eventually did.
He always says it.
Glorified beta testers, you've charged me basically £40 to beta test your game.
Exactly that, yeah. I don't know. Game prices, we've had issues with DLC, we've had issues with, just cost of games rising generally. But you were pointing out something quite interesting about the economics of it all.
Well, the thing is, I mean, when you look at economics and inflation, I mean, the initial point that I found was the big AAA titles, or any console title really that's physically released, they haven't changed in price since I've been gaming. Literally from the SNES back to the NES, even back to the Atari, which obviously is before my time from a memory standpoint, but they haven't changed in price. I was watching a video a few months back. Shigeru Miyamoto was asked about it, why don't you put the price of your games up to rise with inflation? And his initial point was, well, kids, these are big investments for kids who were, at the time, their primary demographic. So it's a big investment for a person to put £40 down on a game that this is potentially something the only one he's going to be able to buy for months, or she's going to be able to buy for months. So we've got to give them something worthwhile for that money. And games back then generally did. But the big AAA titles are still the same price. They've never really risen with inflation. We could name 100 items instantly off the bat now and waste a load of time saying how much it's risen. But games haven't. They've always been... Well, I'm actually paying less for my AAA titles now than I was when I was buying them for the SNES.
See, now this is the point. We talked about this earlier on, and I didn't find this to be true in my situation because you were obviously comparing a lot of that to your SNES games that you were getting. For me, I was a Mega Drive owner, so everything was $39.99. If there was a game which was really special, maybe it was like Street Fighter comes out for the first time, something like that, it would be $44.99, £5 more. But back then you also got everything, and I appreciate that some of those games could have been bigger. There was opportunities for them to do more.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? The market has changed. Obviously, with technology, it's allowed different avenues to be opened up.
But I've spend a lot more on games now than I did back then, but in line with inflation, probably not as much as how property prices has gone up and other such things. So Mars bars is doubled in price since then and gotten smaller.
Yeah, exactly.
So you look at it like that and you think, well, actually, it's not too bad a deal, really.
No.
But I would say what people are spending now per head has massively increased.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, these kids that were lucky to be able to get a game or two every few months are still gaming. So they've now got their disposable income, which is obviously greatly increased as they've become responsible citizens of society. So they can now spend more on their hobby, which has continued on.
Do you think with things such as like moving to this more digital approach that some of the typical archetypal traits of how we shop and buy needs to be amended or moved around?
Well, yeah, the market has, like we sort of touched on earlier, the market's changed in terms of where you can get your gaming. I mean, there's 1 billion smartphone users, so there's essentially 1 billion potential customers. The prices of games, especially on these mobile networks, is ridiculously cheap. I mean, it ranges from, you can spend 15, 16 quid on a Final Fantasy or play something that for hundreds of hours that for absolutely nothing other than your time.
And an advert at the top of the screen, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I was saying to you earlier, my brother, he's played, I think it's probably about 4 months now. I mean, I feel kind of bad, especially for his wife, because I kind of told him about the game. Because it was like a game that he used to have on one of his old phones that didn't have cloud save, so when he changed his phone, he lost it all. But anyway, that's by the by. And again, even on consoles, £40 for a year of subscription for either PlayStation Plus or Gold gets you ridiculous amounts of games.
But in the act of now moving over to these different avenues of buying games, we lose the brick and mortar, so we lose the lighting and the building and the staff and the advertising and all that jazz. And we find ourselves in a place where we are obviously just buying direct, but the prices are higher.
Well, this is the only place that I'd ever actually agree with the whining, because it's bullshit, really, quite frankly, to be so blunt and frank and have a lack of vocabulary at this current moment to describe how I feel about it.
Can I pick this up for you?
Go on then.
Fuck them!
Yeah, basically, it's the easiest way. I mean, you look at other digital markets and store fronts, and it's not the same story. Steam, like, these are the same games that are coming out, multi-platform, multi-console PC games. Just Cause, Steam, £40, or Just Cause 3, £40. Xbox and PlayStation, £50. What? Wait, what? Why?
Steam does this in a much better way. Just how it pitches to its community is much better.
Steam kind of basically laid the groundwork for Apple to be able to go 30%, just a flat rate. We'll host everything, we'll arrange everything, we'll bring the customers. We take 30%. Steam started that, and then Apple went, great idea, and then everybody did. Obviously, it's always happened with consoles with the licensing. That's always been the case, but it's kind of the publishers have eaten up the I suppose the swallowed the profits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you picked it up at your end, out of your wallet, yeah.
Yeah, which is as it should be. But on the storefronts, or the digital storefronts, it seems that, especially, for console owners, other than the really small, cheeky, cool games that you get, which you do get a lot of great value for, some of these big AAA titles are fucking ridiculous, really. I mean, I don't know if it's the publishers or the platform holders, but I mean, it's like I've said to you earlier, I bought fucking games in the sale that I'm never going to play. It's one of those that my biggest problem with all of this storefront bullshit, I wouldn't mind paying £10 more, but give me a fucking trial. Let me play it for 2 hours. Or, if I buy it, and I don't like it, if I've played it for less than a certain amount of time, I can get a fucking refund. Because
this is
where we live, obviously, not for much longer as Brexit has occurred, or God knows how long the political bullshit that's going to take, but under EU directive, they have to give us an opportunity with digital software to get our money back. Apple do it, Google do it, Steam do it. Apple, it's like 15 minutes. Google and Steam, it's 2 hours, and within 14 days, and you can't have played it for more than 2 hours on Steam. We'll give you a full refund.
And was Xbox's and PlayStation's position on this?
No refunds.
No refund.
Well, a few people got refunds for No Man's Sky. I don't know how, but basically there's now been the blanket ban. Representatives of Sony's and customer services have been given a here's your blanket response letter or email.
Read from A to B.
Yeah, so it's just fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Why? I wouldn't mind spending more, but if you give me a chance to play it, and if I don't like it and I can return it and get my money back, fine.
That used to be the thing. I mean, I was always fine with the fact that if you went into a game shop and you bought a game, even if you had to go back and exchange it for another one, I was kind of okay with that. The fact that you could still just change it over. They don't sit there and say, right, you buy it, but we'll keep your cash, but you can keep it as credit and buy it towards something else. There's none of that. It's just, that's yours now.
Yeah.
Bye.
Like you say, even
bye.
Even if they only refunded you as Xbox store credit or PlayStation store credit, I'd be fine with that. Here's a novel idea that I've just come up with and just thought off the top of my head. Allow me to rent the game for £5. I can keep the game for a day for £5. If I like it, I can then take that £5 off.
Oh, they don't need more ways to make money, man.
No, but again, say it's a £55 game. I rent it for £5. I take the cost of that rental off I can buy it for £50 now.
Seriously though, where the fuck has demos gone?
And again, demos. It's the cost of it. That's what I loved about demo discs and magazines, because there was so much, or such a little avenue to get into people's mindsets and seek to show people stuff. Demos were the only way for a game that was unknown to ever show up.
I mean, Christ, you used to get demos in a CD on the front of your magazine that you bought.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to the old floppy disks, they were unreal.
Phrasing boom.
They were unreal because, well, when we're talking that era, it was free games pretty much, as long as you had the right software.
How dare you?
I was 8 years old.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, there seems to be some missteps still going on with, digital downloads. Like pricings, you're all over the shop. The DRM rights stuff, you've still not got it down pat. No. And the refund policies, sort that out as well. It's still a mess out there, still a big mess.
But people have still got to stop whining about the price of games.
Yeah, true that.
Because there's never been a better time to be a gamer. I mean, from every single platform you go on, you can get free games.
Yeah, but
every single platform.
Okay, but I'll leave on this note. The problem is that they put all the game releases at one end of the year. So when you do want your Ultimate Edition or this and another, and you buy even 2 games, you're like, holy shit, that's just blown a hole in my bank balance. Like, not like, I'm going to go get a game. It's like, I've just done better part of £200. What the fuck is going on?
There's gone my Christmas budget.
Yeah. Sorry, family, no presents for you.
Did you want a digital copy of Battlefront on my console?
Yeah, under my account.
Shit, sorry.
And I've downloaded it. No refunds. No refunds. Right, and on that note, we're busting over to the Uncharted.
Well, I suppose the Uncharted Wars of Japan.
Japan, indeed. Let's move on over. Uncharted territory. The place where we just ramble around our gaming world, randomly picking up topics and letting ourselves just go crazy. We're not here to be confined. We're free animals, Link. Free animals.
Pretty much.
What's our topic for this week?
Well, we are heading off to the land of the rising sun.
Japan.
Japan, indeed. It's TGS.
Tokyo Game Show
Indeed.
2016.
Indeed.
Ooh.
It's just a quick run through of some stuff. There's a few bits and bobs that have caught my eye, but a lot of it's a bit meh. Kind of got to be Japanese to appreciate it, I imagine.
Yeah.
But so I'm just going to go for a bit of a run through. Obviously, we've seen the announcement of a Final Fantasy 15 Lunar PS4.
Okay.
But it's actually going to be coming to Western shores as well, though.
Sweet.
So it's not just a Japanese only exclusive like the updated Vita colours. There's a bright orange one and a blue one, I think.
Right. Okay.
But Japan loves the Vita. they still do. There's a lot of support.
They're still making games over there.
Yeah. Well, they're still getting games. But yeah, we've seen Kojima's talked a bit about Death Stranding, just a few little snippets and details.
So last time I looked at this game, the only thing that I was aware of, some naked guy wrestling with
dude
oils.
from Walking Dead.
Yeah, wrestling with / a baby / oil / dead whales / seagulls / just I had no fucking clue what was going on
Obviously,
whatsoever.
The title itself, the Death Stranding, refers to the beaching of whales and porpoises, which is obviously. There's delusions there.
What's the game?
Well, it's going to be an action-orientated game with open-world elements and certain freedoms.
Okay, so sorry, where are we getting this from?
This is the man himself.
Okay.
From Kojima-san.
Okay.
There will be multiplayer. As he put it, connections via the strands.
Right.
And it will be 4K and obviously coming to PS4 Pro.
HDR?
Yes.
Cool.
As well. Yes. I suppose that's pretty much it. If it's 4K, it's got to be HDR now, isn't it? Obviously, we've seen a bit more of Horizon Zero Dawn. That's looking pretty damn tasty. Obviously, it's with all the Pro stuff, but it's nothing really much different than what we've seen earlier in the week at the PlayStation meeting last week.
Mm-hmm.
The PS4 exclusive Neo is got its release date.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think of this game? I'm quite interested in it.
Yeah.
I'm interested in what it could be.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's so obviously that is due out. Obviously, I've been a bit lazy because I didn't really care.
Yeah.
Not written down the date myself, but
so
it's out there.
Yeah.
It's there if you want to go find it. Encourage you to go and venture forth yourself.
Yeah. What do you need me for?
Yeah, that's it. So I can go in? No? Okay, I'll carry on. Obviously, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. Expansion has been announced. And it will feature Naruto's son.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's good.
Something a bit novel for those who enjoy the canon.
Yeah, obviously Berserk Muso, the anime-inspired Delta team, Omega team, the people that make Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
It's their take on the anime. That's obviously got its Western release. It's got a really funny Western subtitle as well. I can't remember. I didn't write it down, but I think everyone will have a laugh because I did. It's just like, really? That sounds really lame.
Well, not like super ultra.
No, it's not nothing like that. It's like the fall of crows or something, or the dawn of crows. I don't know. It's really
the dangling
just lame.
crow or something.
Yeah, it's just the wrinkled nutsack.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. There was something funny I noticed this morning though as well. It was a game that was actually announced just before TGS, and that was Drive Girls. It's coming out for the PS Vita.
Right.
It's a driving car game, transforming into mechs, fighting game, stroke RPG.
What? Hold it. Wait. No.
But
it's a driving game.
Yeah.
With robots.
Yeah.
Which is fighting.
Yeah.
And an RPG.
Kind of RPG elements. So I'd imagine upgrading armour and weapons
right, and then
stuff.
they thought we need to push this over the edge because there's not enough oomph in this. So what will draw a
It's not distinctly Japanese enough.
Right, so they put in schoolgirls.
Pretty much, yeah.
Brilliant.
Or young anime character like women stroke girls.
Right, okay.
So yeah, that was one that I wouldn't say caught my eye, but
Caught your fly?
no, that didn't catch the fly.
No.
But other than that, we've had a quite a tremendous amount of trailers popping out as well. So we've seen Dead or Alive, Venus Vacation. That's Venus, as in the planetary celestial being.
Oh right, okay.
Or
not
god, or goddess. Sorry, not obviously what I thought was potentially a misspelling.
You're talking about the massive planet Venus, aren't you?
Yes,
right.
Yes. I did think it was a misspell at first. I'm just wondering if that's going to end up being in VR.
Oh God.
It's one that you don't want to get caught watching, especially if it still outputs to the TV.
Yep.
And there's some more PS Vita love from Digimon World Next Order.
So basically, are we saying that the Vita's back again, or somebody's remembered
Japan,
it?
they love it. There's loads of stuff coming out in Japan. It's just very, very little of it ever sees the Western releases.
Surely something like Digimon's got to make its way over there. It's quite branded.
It will be on the PS4 released in America, but not PS Vita.
Of course.
But again, if it just needs people to give a bit of a shout. Had a look at Platinum Games, one of their newly announced games.
Oh yeah.
Grand Blue Fantasy. Well, it's news to me anyway. Saw some gameplay footage of that. It looks pretty good. A little action RPG number.
Do you know what I like?
Very much
Platinum Games.
Very much sort of anime RPG kind of.
I think
settings.
they really enjoyed themselves with Transformers, and
Yeah.
I think they're going to carry on.
Yeah. It did look good, it caught my eye, but that one's not going to be out till 2018. And that'll be for PS4. Again, no word on a Western release yet, but Platinum Games are normally quite universal, and they do tend to sort of fly around the world a bit.
Yeah, you get UK releases with them. So cool.
You've got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
Oh yeah?
That's Dragon Ball Z, another Dragon Ball Z game.
I'll be honest with you, because I don't play the games, don't really know the storyline, keep seeing sort of like 6 monthly / yearly iterations. I don't give a shit about it.
I'm the same. The Mies might be interested, but
yeah,
I'm not.
true.
Then we've seen what can only be described as a B-movie game.
Right.
And that's Earth Defense Force 5.
Oh,
so
yeah.
giant bugs and the Force and whatnot.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Those defence games are pretty solid, though.
Oh, yeah, no, they're good. I'd like to say.
Tower defence, aren't they, basically?
To call it a B-movie game, or a B, like, that kind of game, it's not saying that it's a subpar game, like the B-movies were. But it's not a perfect game by any means, but in the same way that a B-movie, there's just something charming about it that just keeps drawing you back.
Yeah, but I wouldn't pay £65 to play a B-movie version of Halo Wars 2.
No, true. And then obviously we've seen some more For Honor, some more trailers. But
this
again,
game's getting my interest.
It's one of those intriguing ones. I think it'd be interesting to see how much there is to it. Or if it's going to be very much just a simple gameplay
paper,
loop.
scissors.
Yeah, kind of thing.
But you were saying the Japanese samurai trailer, wasn't it, for the Tokyo Game
Well,
Show?
it's always going to be the samurai, really, wasn't it? Yeah. Obviously, you've seen some more Final Fantasy 15.
God, is it me or is it just a fuck ton of Final Fantasy games always getting released? It's like here's the demo and the pre-expansion to the game and the DLC when it comes out, and then the pre-expansion of the next game, and then it's just like, well, Final Fantasy, talk about flogging that thing.
Or some dude, speaking about flogging, he was trying to help flog the DLC season pass.
Right.
Because if memory serves me, we talked about this a few weeks back or a couple of weeks ago, and there's going to be the DLC bundle, which is quite expensive, but it won't be all of the DLC.
Brilliant.
So there'll be other stuff, because again, I'd imagine they'd rather get a really good solid engine and a really great Final Fantasy game, because there is open world elements to it, and then they can plug stuff onto it, as opposed to have to spend another 6 years making another one.
But that's the same old thing, isn't it? It's like you look at the Bioshock collection, they've excluded the multiplayer from the second game. You look at the the Dead Rising collection, they've left out Case Zero, and they do this shit all the time.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's the good old classic swindle.
Yeah.
A game that that's caught my eye, but I don't know if I could ever get into, is Gravity Rush 2.
Do you know what? I had it on the Vita,
really
Gravity
interesting.
Rush, the first Gravity
Yeah.
Rush. And it is interesting, but I couldn't get into it either.
That's one of those things. It's got that very much, I think, a Marmite-esque kind of gameplay loop and a set of mechanics that I don't know if I can enjoy or will be able to sustain my interest long enough. It's one of those. I think I could watch someone play it.
Yeah.
I think that would be that kind of game that I could probably watch a YouTube video of it if it's got a really cool story.
Yeah, I you know what, I struggle with games where two characters is your typical Castlevania style. Two characters come into the screen, they both stand there, their lips move, and then the text is just pasted in front of you. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want something a bit more dynamic these days. I don't mind it, but act it out. Crack on.
Well, it's one of those, isn't it? I think there's certain styles of games. If you're going for like an old school JRPG, you accept those kind of things, don't you? And you've got the static or very, very basic animated motions.
But you take those sort of Final Fantasy sort of style games.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually saying, no, I'm kind of ready for them to step it up now, I think. But yeah. What else we see?
Well, something that I resisted from watching just because I think that, I don't know, I just wanted to try and preserve a bit of my soul. Happy Manager, we saw a trailer for that, but we didn't see it.
Yeah, no, we
it's
didn't.
Available, let's put it that way. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8, I think I said that right. I think I've written it out right.
Yeah,
but that's
Prototype SE5
I
EX Plus Hyper Edition.
But it is, again, it's Square Enix though, isn't it? And it's a lot of like you see some of the game name titles.
We've just reskinned this bitch, and
I think when you look at how Japanese titles sort of get translated into English, I think they're trying to get that Japanese flavour, but with English.
Yeah.
So it's just like, right, because it always seems to be Shin Megumi da 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 da.
Yeah.
And it's this really long, elaborate name, which they always end up abbreviating. But I think they're trying to just get that with the Japanese.
Yeah, but they didn't kind of figure it. They're pitching it to a nation which have called a TV channel Dave. It's not a strong position to be in.
Sorry, that's kind of put me off my stride.
Sorry. So
again, they showed off the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 DLC.
Yeah.
So they showed a bit of that off. Again, some Neo or Nioh. I don't know how you're going to say it, but it sounded like it's something from the Matrix.
Yeah.
And then also the Resident Evil 7 Tape 2 demo.
Yeah,
obviously
more
that's
VR.
Yeah, that's obviously the Resi 7 demo has been updated. So that dummy finger that nobody knew what the fuck was for might actually be useful now. I don't know.
Yeah.
This one
does Resi do it for you in 7? Because I think we've touched on this before. We're a bit like, I'm a big Gus Blouse, I don't want to play that.
To play them, no.
Yeah.
Because I've always struggled with the controls. I think the only one that I could probably get into would be 4, because it's more of an action base and it's a better camera system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to embarrass myself if anyone from Japan is listening. Cover your ears now. So we got Suze no Onmuji, which anyone who watches anime may have read or seen the mangas for Twin Star Exorcists. So I think that's a Vita game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we watched a trailer of that one earlier on.
Just look batshit.
Yeah.
But all Japanese trailers like that do.
But, quite stylish sort of cutscene stuff.
It's good.
Looks really well animated.
Yeah, it's a good looking animation.
Can't comment on the storyline because you don't really get anything for those sort of trailers. But
Twin Star Exorcists. I suppose that's like there's 2 exceptional pupils in the school of some kind.
Let's go settle this shit.
Yeah, basically, I don't know.
Yeah.
And we also saw a trailer for Steep, but I think it was pretty much the same kind of stuff that Gamescom saw, but with Japanese text over it.
Yeah.
And then we saw some more World of Final Fantasy, which is this cutesy PS. Was it a PS4? I'd imagine it'll probably come to the Vita in Japan.
Yeah, so this like miniature, like cutesy versions.
There is a specific name for that kind of style, but I don't know what it is.
From now onwards, whenever Final Fantasy gets mentioned, I'm gonna have to give it the in between beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
Because that's where I'm at with it now.
Yes. But I think really I've got to finish with what I've titled as a distinctly Japanese moment.
Good.
In which a VR experience, which was set up for The first 2 days of TGS.
Yeah, because it's split, isn't it?
Yeah, there's the business side of it, sort of a la E3 kind of thing, where it's only gaming industry people can attend for the first 2 days.
Yep.
And then it goes over to the public exhibitions. Well, there was a VR experience that was created purely just for the business days, just to show off. I'd imagine it's a company that wants to try and flog its wares.
Right.
Poor choice of words, maybe.
Phrasing.
When I think about it.
Yeah.
But obviously, so this VR experience was set up, and it's which a player gets to touch a mannequin set up with a series of capacitive sensors.
Right.
So obviously, you could touch the shoulder or the face. And then obviously the avatar in the software will react accordingly.
Okay.
Well, somebody made a bit of a mishap and left this out for the public.
Right.
Which I think, I mean, when we were talking about this one earlier, I'd sort of described it. If it was like just an unnamed, like character, non-recognisable, it was just here's an avatar of a generic person. I don't think it would have had as many problems, but it was actually a representation of an anime character from a fairly popular series.
Which was?
What's the Plastic Memories?
Yeah, but what was
the character was Ilsa or Isla, and she's like an android. But the problem is in this series, the androids have got a set amount of time that they can keep their memories or their software works, and then it cuts out and they have to be put down basically.
Right.
But yes, obviously they've created a representation of this android or female android.
Let me guess. The general public's mauled this thing, haven't they?
Well, I think the best way to describe it really may not be the best way to describe it, but I think it's the
most accurate way to describe it.
Yeah, I think it's probably been sexually assaulted. I think
so they've abused
realistically, yeah. The sensors have broken.
Oh my god! So
I think it lasted a day.
I love that. As soon as you release this into the general public, this thing's probably been humped to death, hasn't it? Someone's gone to town on this shit.
Well, you know that the first attempt and discovery would definitely be a good old grope. I mean, we've got.
So,
if you look at some of the games that are released in Japan and what they encourage you to do, I don't think there's a great leap.
I just love the way that immediately the general populace says, "Hump it! Fuck it now! Quickly, grab it! Do that!" Well, that's the general approach. When we looked at that last time, when they brought out this this first mass-produced on-sale home robot, which, by the way, you could fix your iPad into its chest and plug it in and use some app, to control it. And what does somebody come up with? A pair of nipples which sits at that point of the height of the robot, which when you stroked, it kind of went, oh, and fluttered its hands to try and stop you from... I don't know what it is, why we have to go there with everything. It's like it's either war or hump it. That's like the two options.
It's just going back to the good old classic instinct, isn't it? So you can either eat it, or like you say, eat it, beat it up, or
hump it. Yeah, that's your options.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So later on we'll see. But the first iteration, it wasn't like here's a simulator for like boxing.
No. It wasn't. I mean, the actual mannequin itself was just literally just a mannequin with some sensors, and there was a wig and a costume.
We're gonna make this happen, baby.
But again, as we were talking, the problem with VR is once you get a set of headphones on and that headset on. Wait a minute! I've forgotten that there's 10,000 people in this exhibition hall. I was saying to you, I've seen. I was doing something on my laptop and I was watching something on YouTube on my Xbox, and it just went through on an autoplay thing, and it ended up on like a documentary or like a Vice documentary on VR, and at the time it is an emerging technology, so it was all still prototype Oculus units, and there was this little sort of small gathering that people had set up, and like one of the only thing that caught my eye was this really rapid motion on screen. I thought, what the fuck is someone doing in VR that's causing them to look up and it's some guy basically dry humping a pillow.
There we go.
There's the future of VR, folks.
With loads of people watching.
Yeah, but again, it's one of those. Hear no evil, see no evil.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
Or
who cares?
ignorance is sexual ecstasy.
Yeah, exactly. But I
Okay.
think to finish on that note.
Yeah,
Dry
right,
hump me
phrasing,
pillow.
boom, to finish on that note, loving that. Okay, so there we are, folks, another fun-filled episode of the B Button, episode 28, just piling through them, and yeah, some very special thoughts to end on. So, I guess, as always, from the Angry Lane Kids,
I'm off to Japan.
Japan! And from the Baron, I'm out. Peace.